I hear the voices inside my head, see voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog, we fighting above the law.
Me too, High Priestess. Same. Listening as you go to bed. Okay, Ash. Hey, Nikki Two Poles. Yeah, it is pretty late. And I'm not going to be terribly long because this is just ridiculous. But also, the girls are doing acrylic nails and it stinks down here. I will get a migraine if I hang out down here too long. No, it's fine. You're fine. I'm going to keep my camera off so you guys are fine. Leticia is freaking nuts. Can't wait to hear your opinion because, oh my god. Yeah! Holy shit. I'm Taylor. Hey, Taylor. Stitching bitchin'. Hey. Let me find it. I couldn't. I was like, what? I listened to just a couple minutes. I was like, I am going to go live because this is ridiculous. And I know what she's trying to do. Like, there's no doubt about it. That bitch is trying to act like a psychopath on purpose, I feel like. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh, she's bringing up different personalities and everything. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Where's that one from 7 hours ago? Hold on one second. Hey, Cool Gamer. Hey, Wandering. Thor. Lisa. One second. She's absolutely insane. Ah, here we go.
How old?
Like, why didn't that pop up before? When you entered. Hey, Boo. Hey, Gidget. Good to see you. I love that name. Okay, let's listen to some of this. We're going to have to pause quite a bit because this is the Law and Crime channel and, copyrights and that.
I just want to talk about the vampires some more. Did you talk to Miss Stauch about her experience with vampires during your forensic interview?
Like, this is not a joke. This is actually in the trial. Like, this is what she's doing. Let's talk about vampires. Like, because everything else she threw out there already wasn't crazy enough with Edgar, whoever, all these people all of a sudden raped her at the time of Gannon's disappearance and all this other bullshit that she come up with. That was already crazy enough. As soon as I heard this, I listened for like 3 minutes. I was like, no, we're going to talk about this on live. And that's when I'll finish listening to it. Yeah, OMG.
To just have a mental illness.
What was it?
To just have a mental illness.
Eduardo, yeah.
I just want to talk about the vampires some more. Did you talk to Miss Stauch about her experience with vampires during your forensic interview?
I did.
Tell the jury about that.
Ms. Stauch introduced a vampire called Justice. She said that there was a button in her cell.
A vampire named Justice. She has a button in her cell that she can summon multiple vampires with. Yeah, but this bitch is trying to act crazy so that she'll get a lighter sentence for killing her stepson. Like this is what it's come to.
That she could summon
This is
Vampires during
almost
your forensic-
no, not almost. This is actually I don't know why I'm laughing. Because I don't even know if we've actually heard about vampires, and I mean she brings up Twilight and everything. She thinks, yeah, it's I don't know. Anyway, but I mean, I don't even think we've gotten that crazy yet with the Wells. So hey Freya.
interview.
I did.
Tell the jury about that.
Ms. Stauch introduced a vampire called Justice. She said that
Hey Patty. So Leticia says there's a vampire named Justice.
there's a button in her cell that she could summon Justice, Jasper, perhaps Patrick, if I remember correctly.
Justice, Jasper, and Patrick, her vampire buddies. She has a button in her cell where she's summoning the Justice vampires. What'd she say?
Justice. She said that there was a button in her cell that she could summon Justice, Jasper, perhaps Patrick, if I remember correctly.
Justice, Jasper, and Patrick. Hey, Outdoorsy. This is ridiculous. This is...
She said she had been introduced to vampires when she lived in Alaska previously. And they used to go door to door like...
She what? She said what? Hey, Justide.
Jehovah's Witnesses. Justice, Jasper, perhaps Patrick, if I remember correctly. She said she had been introduced to vampires when she lived in Alaska previously.
Did she ever live in Alaska? I don't think I ever heard that, but I mean, like, is that even a thing? Did she ever live in Alaska? I don't remember if I heard this because I believe this case goes back like 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Prairie, she's a nut job and a narcissist. Yeah, I don't buy this for 1 minute. I think that this is so far out there that I honestly believe that she's just, at this point, she's making shit up to seem like she's crazy. But was she crazy? Like, well, yeah, I mean, she killed her stepson, right? But she cleaned it up and tried to plan to get away with it. Like, she followed all of these steps. She wasn't crazy then, was she? Oh, I mean, I guess you'd have to be to kill your stepson. But you know what I mean? Like, she was insane, sound mind enough to kill her stepson, take the precautions to clean it up after, to cover her ass. Yeah, she ain't that smart because it's obvious that she's a fucking liar. And we've listened to the phone calls between her and Al, and holy shit. That's just... I don't know how Al could even stand it. That was crazy. Hey, Aubrey. It is crazy. Yeah, I used to talk about this case a lot when it was going on. Hey, Mandy, I think she's for sure crazy, but not insane. Yeah, I think she is definitely not all there, right? But I think she is definitely over dramatizing things for sure on purpose to try and look even crazier.
And they used to go door to door like Jehovah's Witnesses.
They used to go door to door like Jehovah's Witnesses. The vampires did?
And she said she had been introduced to vampires when she lived in Alaska previously.
Mm.
And they used to go door to door like Jehovah's Witnesses.
So she was introduced the vampires when she was in Alaska because they went door to door like Jehovah's Witnesses. What the freak? Insane in the membrane. Yeah. She is.
And
Oh, for sure, Yoni.
she didn't really offer them in any kind of meaningful way. Like, wasn't explaining anything or trying to use that information necessarily. But she certainly
She doesn't believe in hell, but she will when she gets there. Right. Yeah, I see that too, Yoni.
referenced them throughout the interview.
Did she tell you where she got these names for these so-called vampires she's talking about?
She directed me to the movie Twilight.
What the freak? So where'd you come up? Wait. Justice? What'd she say? Justice? Jaguar and Patrick or something? Is that in... It's been a while since I've watched me some Twilight. Those aren't in there. Jasper. Yeah. Jasper's one. I don't remember Patrick. Yeah, it's a teenager movie. Yeah, probably because her daughter was watching it all the time. But I mean, not gonna lie, I still like to watch it once.
And did you find out that these names?
Look at the attorney just laughed.
Yeah.
Where she got these names for these so-called vampires she's talking about?
She directed me to the movie Twilight.
And did you find out that
Did you hear that?
From the movie
You hear the attorney just literally laughing at Leticia?
Twilight or the books? Did she tell you where she got these names for these so-called vampires she's talking about?
She directed me to the movie Twilight.
And did you find out that these names were from?
Like, he can't even hold that together. That's how pathetic this is, when even the attorney just like can't even hold back his laughing. Sandra!
From the movie Twilight or the book series?
Yeah.
Involved in Twilight?
Yeah, a few of them for sure. I'm not familiar with the series myself, but I Googled. She talked about a vampire council, and the name of the council was taken directly.
Not a vampire council. Are you fucking kidding me? All the seats, no receipts. Yeah.
From that series, and then a couple of the names for sure came from there as well.
This is sad.
And is that something that would be common with someone who has dissociative identity disorder, that they would be able to tell you exactly where the names of other personalities
Dodie!
came from and things like that?
Are you drawing a connection between the vampires and DID? Because I got a bit confused there.
No, I'll ask you a different question. What relevance, if any, did that have in your evaluation? The fact that she's talking about vampires that came from a movie.
30 Days of Night, one of my favorites. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, certainly if somebody's talking about vampires and that appears real to them, that could signify that they're experiencing a mental illness. So I looked further to see, I'm looking for consistency again. So it was notable that she said that she had been...
So yeah, they're basically trying to figure out, is she just saying this shit or is she for real? Hey, Wacky.
interfacing with these vampires since Alaska, but she made no mention of them to the previous evaluators.
Right, so she's just pulling it out of her ass last minute, basically, is what they're saying. Which, yeah, I haven't heard about that shit until today, 9 hours ago. Bria!
And she also didn't mention them throughout her jail stay until several months in. I think I lost track of your question. I'm sorry.
What's the significance? It's one thing to say that I talk to vampires and I see vampires. What's the significance of her saying clarification? Well, these vampires came from a movie.
Right. So that's not consistent with a mental illness. It sounded like a fabrication.
Oh, nice try, Leticia, but they aren't falling for your bullshit. Because, yeah, if it was part of a mental illness, you're not going to just, you'd be talking about it a little bit more than you were. Not just talk about it one time, several months into your sentence, probably because someone said act real fucking crazy and you'll get a lighter sentence or something bullshit like that. And you're like, oh, I probably remember some of the Twilight from my daughter watching it or something. I don't fucking know. You got one name right anyway, but yeah. She said she literally named the Vampire Council that was on the freaking Twilight series.
If people are talking to vampires, I would expect them to have their own unique aspects to them and something unique to the individual that would make sense in a greater scheme of how they see the world. And it just seemed like she was conveying a story essentially from fiction.
Right. Well, duh. That's for sure what she was doing. This does not take a rocket scientist.
And did she bring this up on her own, or did you ask her questions?
The attorney. She plays games. No cure for narcissistic behavior. Her and Lori Daybell should share a prison cell together. Oh, 100%. He said what? Hold on, I gotta remind me. He said, did she come up with this by herself, or did you just randomly ask her if she talks to vampires and has a button in herself for vampires?
Of how they see the world, and it just seemed like she was conveying a story essentially from fiction.
And did she bring this up on her own, or did you ask her questions that might trigger that answer?
Did you ask her anything? I don't know about you guys, but are you ever having conversations with somebody that just trigger you to be like, you know what? I have a button and I can summon vampires. I got a whole vampire council. Same one that happened to be on a movies called Twilight and a book series and all that. Yeah. They're my council. I got a button right directly to them. Yet I still stay here in a jail cell, waiting to be convicted on murdering my stepson. But hey, Leticia didn't like this talk. She sat with her head down most of the time because she knows that she sounds pathetic. Like, oh shit, this is going to be on TV and people are going to say, lock this bitch up and throw away the key. Or put her before a firing squad at this point. I don't know, silver bullets or something. Like, I don't fucking know. Is she a vampire? Is she going to turn into a vampire? Eduardo or whoever tried to R-word her, right? R-I-P-E her. Do the vampires not try to do that to her too? Because I'm surprised she's not blaming the vampires at this point. The vampires did what they did to Gannon, right? Is that where she's gonna try and go with this?
I didn't ask her any questions about vampires initially.
I didn't ask any questions about vampires initially. Yeah, no shit. I have had experience of meeting people who really have these conditions for real, and just looking at her, it is obvious that the only thing she has is psychopathy. Yeah, she's definitely a psychopath. Yes, I agree. I think she's overplaying it for the attention. She's getting a kick out of it. You know? And maybe someone's going to buy that she's absolutely that insane, because here she is, like, I mean, talking about the vampires. Now, if she was talking about vampires before she murdered Gannon and throughout the past 3 years, maybe people would fall for that. But she didn't. She spoke about it with one person, it sounds like one time, and it's just like coming out or airing now, because I don't remember hearing about this before. She believes that a juror will buy her BS. Maybe yeah, that's right. Maybe so she's got to get one juror to believe her ass, right? Or does it have to be more than one? Does this have to be an anonymous jury or what? you know what? I've seen people say, how did Al not see the signs that she was crazy? And here's my thing. I think she is, like a lot of people are saying in chat, that she's narcissist. So I think she's very much manipulative. And she definitely manipulated Al. That's my opinion. I think Al saw a better side of her, and I think that um she portrayed that side of her for as long as she could, and then yeah, you could tell she started getting jealous, and she started looking up these sites, I believe, on what was it? She was like looking up weird dating sites, like sugar daddy sites, or how to be a sugar mama to men with no kids. And uh like she was Googling weird shit and had weird sites pulled up and everything. So yeah, it's clear to see she started getting more and more jealous, and she started and she took it out on Al's kids that he shared with, I think, the girl that she's very, very to this day jealous of, Gannon's mom. Yeah, I think she thought that Al and I can't remember the mom's name, forgive me, but I think she thought that them two probably had something going on. I remember from the past hearing some of the stuff Leticia would say, and I think, yeah, I think she got jealous, and I think it was she on purpose wanted to hurt both of them. The wonder question was essentially like, is lying a mental disability? I didn't see that part yet.
Forget the term you used to describe how she was talking to you, but she likes to talk, for lack of a better way to say it, right?
Yes.
Would she just volunteer information to you and change subjects as you're talking to her?
She didn't change subjects a whole lot. I didn't get the impression from her that she wasn't following my line of thought. She was telling a cookie.
Volunteer information to you, and I forget the term you used to describe how she was talking to you, but
Landon, yes, that's right, Landon.
she likes to talk.
Thank you.
For lack of a better way to say it, right?
Yes.
Leticia loves to talk. I mean, the narcissist in her that could not face the camera when speaking to the news when we thought Gannon was just missing. She sure wanted to do that interview, right? But she didn't want to show her face, did she, at first? Do you guys remember that? She's nothing but a cowardless. She's a cowardly, crazy bitch.
She just volunteer information to you and change subjects as you're talking to her?
She didn't change subjects a whole lot. I didn't get it.
She did not keep changing subjects a whole lot. So she's able to focus and stay conversating on one topic. So she's not like, how am I trying to say this? That would tell one she's a little more put together than she's trying to act, right? See, if this lady noticed she's a weirdo, this man married her, and it's sad because Landon gave up custody and probably feels a lot of guilty about. Oh yeah, she probably does, but again, they were both manipulated and used, and Landon, had her troubles. They all had their troubles. I mean, we're all human, is what it is. And I believe 100% that Leticia preyed on both of them from the beginning. Because it's weird, because if I'm not mistaken, what's that sound? Hold on one second, guys. There's like a cat outside. Binks, it's okay. What the heck?
Impression from her that she wasn't following my line of thought. She was telling a coherent story. She just gave far more information.
One second, guys. Oh, it's a black cat. It's because Charlie come home and the other stray black cat is out there, so Charlie was grabbing. Oh shit. Oh, wait, turn off something. All right, I think we're back.
That was necessary to answer the question. She didn't change subjects a whole lot. I didn't get the impression from her that she wasn't following my line of thought. She was telling a coherent story. She just gave far more information than was necessary to answer the question.
Far more information than necessary to answer the question. Trying to make sure she's covering her ass. Kind of like, well, obviously, pathological liars do that a lot too. And they add like so much detail on shit sometimes. It's like, yeah, you're just a liar. Or you hear them adding new details that you ain't never heard before. Hey, Alaska. Yeah, Alaskan vampires, for real. That's how crazy this shit has gotten.
Did you perform any psychological testing with Miss Stauch?
I administered 2 measures to assess for genuine responding for her mental illness symptoms.
And what were those measures? Did you perform any psychological testing with Miss Stauch?
I administered 2 measures to assess for genuine responding for her mental illness symptoms.
And what were those measures?
The MFAST, which is a Miller Forensic Assessment of Symptoms test, and the SIRS-2, which is a structured interview of reported symptoms.
And what were the results of those psychological tests?
So she exceeded the cutoff on the MFAST. It's a screening measure for feigning. And feigning means the intentional exaggeration or production of mental illness symptoms. So she crossed over the threshold, indicating that she might in fact be feigning. But because it's a screening measure and it wasn't 100% sure, I gave another more comprehensive measure.
I mean, you'd have to be mentally unstable to think that you're going to kill your stepson and then think you're going to get away with it and then think that you can say that you have a vampire council. You know? But I also kind of don't like those tests because I feel like they're very outdated. And I also think that they're very easily, I mean, if she wants to act crazy or I don't know, I think they'd be easy to make yourself look like you have mental issues. Does that make sense? I don't know.
On that measure, there's several scales. It looks at different aspects of feigning. Are you reporting symptoms that you're not?
I'm sorry. I do want to just see what the fuck does fanning mean. What? Well, that's definitely not it. The spreading of toes? No.
Manifesting observable behavior of? Are you reporting inconsistent symptoms?
Leticia is someone I feel so much hatred for. Yeah, I mean, I understand this one.
rare combinations of symptoms. So she just elevated
Hey, BJ.
one scale on that test, suggesting probable feigning. But on the test overall, it was indeterminate.
How to kill all mosquitoes in the area in 90 seconds.
This girl is crazy.
In your report, it indicates that she yielded a total score of 12. Do you remember what test that was on?
That was on the IMFAST.
Good to see you, BJ.
And what does that mean to you as a psychologist?
So the cutoff in the manual is 6. So if you score anything above 6, it's presumed feigning. But because it's a screening measure, there's a lot of false positives. So they suggest you do more testing. Unless, so it's out of 25.
She does look demonic. Yes, she does.
If
Like the girl from The Ring or something. Faking it.
somebody scores over 16, it's like 100% rate of also elevating the SIRS. So at 16, you don't have to give the SIRS as well. So 12, it was certainly elevated. I had concerns, but I wanted to be thorough. I didn't want to just, it's a very prejudicial term to say somebody's.
So she's saying she does believe that she's like on the, I mean, yeah.
Feigning or malingering.
Sure.
So I just was being prudent.
Well, in your report, you indicate that such a score is highly suggestive of malingered psychopathology. It's the need for further assessment. What did you mean by that?
In a dirty, she looks like she's been soaking in a dirty puddle.
That's taken from the manual. So because it is high, most people don't get that score by accident. However, because it's a screening measure.
What do you mean by that?
And that's taken from the manual. So because it is high, most people don't get that score by accident. However, because it's a screening measure, it's not very sensitive. You're going to get false positives. It's going to, people are going to look like they're feigning when they're not feigning.
It sounds to me like they should probably get a second forensic psychologist, a second opinion, and a second testing done, don't you think?
In that scoring range, so that's why more testing is done.
Okay.
What does the term malingering mean?
Malingering.
I love the girl who did the testing on Amber Heard from Johnny Depp's trial. I really liked her. I'd love to see what she thinks about Leticia. Have her give her the tests for a second opinion.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Malingering is like feigning where you're intentionally exaggerating your symptoms, but
boom. Right there, that's exactly what I think's happening.
Malingering, there's an added element of the presumption of trying to obtain a secondary gain.
Yep.
Did you see that in this case?
It certainly seemed that Ms. Stauch was presenting symptoms that she didn't appear to have.
What?
Did you see that in this case?
It certainly seemed that Ms. Stauch was presenting symptoms that she didn't appear to have. I can never know if somebody...
She had testing before this lady. Okay, I didn't see that one then.
...is trying to achieve a goal or not.
So
it certainly seemed that Ms. Stauch was presenting symptoms that she didn't appear to have.
It certainly appears that she was presenting symptoms that she didn't really have.
I can never know if somebody is trying to achieve a goal or not. So I didn't offer an opinion on malingering, but
shouldn't that kind of be your job to know, though? I don't know.
Certainly there were suggestions that she was not as impaired as she was portraying.
Yeah. Good old Google research to learn how to play crazy. Yeah. For real.
Did you diagnose Ms. Stauch with anything or any mental disorder out of the DSM-5 as a result of your competency evaluation?
My diagnostic impressions were that she had some personality dysfunction, both with traits of borderline personality and narcissistic personality,
Yeah.
but not meeting threshold for either full disorder.
Not meeting threshold for either one of those disorders. That is interesting. She makes me feel that creepy, gross feeling like dirty. Yeah. 2 others were witnessed before this lady. Okay. You feel this lady was the best? I think she's actually being very fair. So, and I could see, I mean, again, I guess you have to be a little bit unstable mentally to think that, or to do what you did and think you could get away with it. I mean, I would like her to define malingering. Me too. Maybe
And
two.
I offered a rule out of PTSD versus an unspecified anxiety disorder. I just didn't have enough information. And given that it wasn't a clinical information and I wasn't there to help her, I didn't want to probe too much into her trauma.
Let's not probe too much into Leticia's trauma. Let's just, not worry about what she did to the little 12-year-old boy. I believe he was like 12. Yeah. Little tiny 12-year-old Gannon that this lady brutally murdered, who this lady's own daughter is beside herself and finger points what her mom did. Like 11. Just disturbing. But let's not probe her trauma too much. Get the fuck out of here.
Did that have any impact on your ultimate conclusion with regard to competency, either of these diagnoses?
Well, those diagnoses would not really reach the threshold of a mental disability.
So she is saying that she didn't score enough on the, what was it? Bipolar disorder or the narcissist disorder. She played that one down on purpose, in my opinion, because that's exactly what she probably is. I mean, the narcissist disorder should have been off the charts for that one, don't you think? We all saw what she did. We see what she continues to do. So, yeah, I don't know I don't know what these tests look like, but are they like, can you fake them or can you, I don't know. Because that's weird to me. They are not letting Leticia make it about her trauma.
Is that why you didn't go further and try to rule out post-traumatic stress?
Whether or not she had post-traumatic stress, she did not demonstrate functional impairment as it related to competency. So for my purposes, it wasn't important.
Okay. So what does it mean when you say other specified personality disorder with borderline and narcissistic features? Can you break that down for the jury?
So personality disorders, just like other clinical disorders, have certain criteria that need to be met, and you have to have so many. I believe there might be 7, and you have to have 5 of 7 for each one. So
she wants her people to think her trauma caused all this. Yeah, she definitely, anytime that she should be talking about Gannon or, being sorry what she's done or anything like that, it's always about her and something that's bad's happened to her. And what about her and her. It's always about Leticia.
Impressions of her, she had a couple of features of borderline personality disorder. She was impulsive. She had some.
This product helped me make 7 figures this year.
As you start, they ask you a series of questions, many repeated, just worded differently. So you can play them basically.
I don't know what Dr. Moore testified to yesterday. Impulsive. She had some, so in my impressions of her, she had a couple of features of borderline personality disorder. She was impulsive. She had some
okay,
kind of push-pull relationships.
Yeah, because to me, I feel like she played those parts down on purpose, because to me, that's exactly what she is, right? And she tried to overplay other parts to try to look at this. It's just so crazy. You know what I'm saying, right? Do I make sense even to one of y'all? Because I just think she's definitely trying to play the system right now. Julia, hey boo.
You know,
How's moving going?
I don't know what Dr. Moore testified to yesterday, but there was insisting that she saw Dr. Moore, and then Dr. Moore would show up and she'd refuse to see her. That's quite consistent with a borderline personality.
What?
And the same for narcissistic personality. Those features are typically a sense of entitlement, grandiosity, a lack of empathy are three big ones.
Yeah.
Stauch told me on 2 occasions during the interview that she lacked empathy and she didn't experience.
She's saying, I have no empathy. So, yeah, she Googled this shit. Oh, I don't have no empathy. What? I mean, we know that, right? Darling, hi, baby, come here. Hi. Where'd you go, dear? You didn't want that cat over here eating your food, huh?
Experience people's thoughts and feelings. She had grandiosity throughout our meeting where she said, grandiosity. Thank you. Throughout our meeting where she touted her accomplishments, her intellect. Her
intellect. Lack of empathy can be blamed on trauma, PTSD. Yeah, she's definitely been trying to play the trauma and PTSD part. I think she has actually said PTSD before.
She was refusing to meet with people that didn't have the highest credentials. She didn't want to meet with social workers. She wanted to meet with people with higher degrees in order to talk about her problems.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so she's like, I don't want just anybody talking to me. She's like, I'm a high profile murderer. I deserve people who are high up with all these special degrees and shit to talk to me, because I am someone special. Look at me, Leticia Stauch, with the Vampire Council. I deserve the best of the best and no one else to talk to me. She is absolutely disgusting, you guys. Self-diagnosing, yeah, she did that. Remember, before, like, she played these games for a while, so she had time to definitely try to figure out how she should behave and act and all of that, right?
Wasn't sure that she met all the criteria for the disorder, so I was just trying to.
Hey, Marty.
My goal in an evaluation is to try to help the person reading it experience what I experienced meeting with her. And her personality was very much at the forefront of our interactions. So that's what I was trying to convey.
Her personality was at the forefront of our interactions. So she's trying to say she's so crazy. And then also like acting like I don't know, a jailhouse diva. Hey, Charm. I feel like she was insane and lost her mind when she done that to little Gannon. Yeah, she wouldn't have lied and drove across the country to cover it up. She 100% wasn't insane. No, that's what I'm saying. She could plan the cleanup and all this stuff. And I mean, and not only that, what's even sicker is she made her own daughter go buy the shit that she used to clean up after. Allegedly. Or I don't know if we're saying that anymore, okay? But she killed Gannon.
Did she ever refer to you as being an actress?
She made a comment She said, I think you're an actor. And then she
I think you're an actor. This bitch.
just continued talking to me. Like, she didn't really have the concern.
Was that about the time you were introducing yourself and saying what your role was, or at what point did that come up?
No, it was somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle. I don't think you're a real doctor. I think you're an actor. I'm going to keep talking to you, though. See, so she wants a movie made about her, huh?
There's a couple things I want to talk about. The borderline, the personality disorder diagnosis that you have in your report. Are you familiar with the term transient episodes of psychosis?
Yes.
What?
Transient episodes of psychosis. The way Haley looked at those kids and was chill, that the mother was mean towards them. She trained Haley to be the same way. Haley. She's role-playing. That's why she called out the doc. Yeah, I can see that. That could be, yep.
Is that, and what does that mean?
Well, transient means it comes and goes.
It comes and goes. Whoops. Where did my... I lost my spot.
It's kind of a paranoia about abandonment that might manifest.
Diagnosis that you have in your report. Are you familiar with the term transient episodes of psychosis?
Yes.
What is that, and what does that mean?
Well, transient means it comes and goes. The psychosis, part of the DSM, the psychosis that can go along with borderline personality disorder is typically related to fears of abandonment. The disorder itself is an attachment disorder where people, the primary goal is to not feel abandoned. So there's these desperate attempts to keep people in your life, at the same time pushing them away. So,
like, I think I have that. Because I definitely hold on to some people way longer than I should, because I'm like, I created a bond with you, even though you're being an idiot. It's hard for me to, like, people will be like, this person's blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't care, like, you know. But then if you push me just far enough, I'm like, fuck you, and I'll never talk to you again. I will. I mean, see you, bye. You will never see from me or hear from me again. Baking but listening. Ooh, what are you baking?
The transient episodes of psychosis that the DSM refers to is kind of a paranoia about abandonment that might manifest like you text your loved one, they don't text back as quickly as you think they should, and you start thinking that they're leaving you, and then you go into...
Okay, I'm not that bad. No, absolutely not like that. That is extreme. Holy shit. But I could see that I, if I'm remembering correctly, I can see that. I'd have to go back, but if I'm not mistaken, like, she was always concerned about what Al was doing, even when she was like during some of the jail calls. She was like, "What are you doing? Are you with your wife? Are you going to divorce me? Are you divorcing me? But you need my help." Like, she's just crazy.
Spiral, thinking that the relationship is over, and then they text you again and they were busy, and then
we all have some sort of personality disorder. Yeah. Cutoff game is strong. Yeah. I invented ghosting.
like, oh, I'm fine now. That would be considered a transient episode of paranoia.
Okay. Seems like that's pretty common, at least. I hear about that on occasion. Did you see any of that with Miss Stauch?
Transient episode of paranoia. They're leaving you, and then you go into a spiral thinking that the relationship is over, and then they text you again and they were busy, and then you're like, oh, I'm fine now. That would be considered a transient episode of paranoia.
Okay. Seems like that's pretty common, at least. I hear about that on occasion. Did you see any of that with Miss Stauch during your evaluation?
No.
She said no.
Is that something that are you capable of ruling that out as a symptom or being anything to do with Miss Stauch?
It wasn't something I observed during my interview. She has personality dysfunction that I wouldn't say I would rule it out as ever being possible happening. I didn't see it firsthand.
Yeah. I'm in no way, shape, or form involved with this case professionally, but I am a nurse since 2005 and a counselor since 2017. So I do know a lot of the terminology and have learned how some crazy people think. Yeah. It's weird. Like, I can totally see that she's not mentally all there, right? Because what she done. But I also think that it's a mixture of that and she's playing a game here, and I don't like it. Like, to be honest, I don't want her to get any kind of lighter sentence because of some mental disability. And I know I preach differently in other cases, but every case is not the same. So this is not the same as, let's say, I know I speak very differently about Leilani Simon, but that's different, and it's different for me for many different reasons, because I still don't believe that she did that all by herself. You know what I'm saying? Leticia did this all by herself. So it's different in that way, where I'm just like, I feel like it's plain to see. And even with what the forensic psychologist here is saying, she's playing some games here. She's pretending with some of this stuff. And so to me, don't even let her have that pass. Give her the strictest ruling possible. I don't give a shit that she is mentally unstable at this point, because I mean, damn. I mean, that's just how I feel. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just how I feel. That's where it lays for me.
So it didn't come up?
No.
I want to talk to you a little bit about what she, let me ask you this. Did she talk about Gannon and Gannon's death?
A little bit, yes.
Did she talk about...
A little bit. A little bit. Did she talk about Gannon or Gannon's death? A little bit.
Talk to you a little bit about what she... let me ask you this. Did she talk about Gannon and Gannon's death?
A little bit, yes.
Did she talk about feelings that she wanted to bring him back to life?
Feeling that she could bring him back to life.
What? What? I mean, wow.
Same story, okay? Ivan, you told me to be straight.
I got you on the phone, and I'm trying to sit here and tell my own husband every little detail, everything. You think I don't love my family?
Leticia, listen. Like I said the whole time, I'm just trying to help you and trying to keep you and Harley safe from all. I mean, these people are after me now. I don't know who the hell it is, but like I said, I had to go get my clothes changed and everything just so I can blend in better. And I would.
What about me? Me.
I want you to know that no matter what, we can work through this together, and I can help you. Okay, but you just gotta let me help you.
No, Al. She wants to help you. You need her help, not she needs your help.
You told me to be straight up. I got a very straight up question. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm. She did.
Yeah.
Did you kill Gannon? I need to know. I need you to answer me yes or no right now.
I killed Gannon. The answer is no. I can't believe.
She said, "Did I kill Gannon?"
You asked me this.
I just gotta know. You had told me to be straight up. I gotta know what's happening to my son.
Tell me why you would think I killed Gannon.
There's a lot of unknowns. I mean, being straight up again, you changed your story again to me for the 4th time.
No, I changed my story.
You did. This is the 4th version of this.
She really did change her story multiple times. We all know that.
Same story, okay?
Yeah, I don't know how Al did that. This bitch is screaming at me and she killed my son.
Like half of what you told me today, cut foot, and now he's got burned arms and picking it, and his butt's bleeding. All this stuff is new to what you told me the other day. And the other day you told me you cleaned up the area where you got raped so nobody would see it. But now you told me you just changed clothes. I just don't know what the hell's going on.
Like, she threw everything in there. To a bunch of Mexicans raped me and this and that, and then Gannon had nosebleeds. You know how he had nosebleeds all the time? He picked his arm to his butt was bleeding. Well, what the fuck? If his butt was bleeding, why did he not go to a hospital? That's crazy. You got an 11-year-old boy, his butt bleeding. He should not be at home. He should have been at the ER.
I didn't tell you. First off, you never even listened to me about anything that went on.
I did. No, you stop, because I listened to you. I listened to you, and
Tell
then
her,
I
Al.
went and got the guns and put them in the truck, and then I came back and me and Landon listened to you, and then I stopped and picked your story apart.
Bicycle accident, kidnapped. Yep, she kept changing her story.
I listened to you, and I said, if I'm wrong about the rape, I will get on my knees and beg you for forgiveness. Did I not say that?
Yeah, but you haven't.
Exactly, because I haven't been proven wrong yet. I want the truth. If I'm wrong, if the police, no matter what they're doing, the FBI, the CBI, the CBS, whoever, okay, if they tell me I'm wrong, I will publicly, in front of the world, get on a camera and tell you I'm sorry. But until that happens, we're going to find the truth.
How can you tell me that someone didn't I don't understand. How can you tell me that someone didn't do something to hurt me and take Gannon?
I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you it hasn't been proven one way or the other. You said you banged your head on the freaking table.
Now she banged her head on the table too. So all this stuff, that's why she cleaned. That's why there was carpet missing. That's why she cleaned the house or whatever she did. Because she had to clean up where she got raped because she was embarrassed, didn't want no one to see it. And Gannon had all these accidents and, she had to clean up after that. And, she hit her head. So her head was bleeding. Like, she's just throwing everything to the wall to see what will stick at this point, and it's ridiculous. And I don't think that she has actually properly consulted her vampire council, because they would even tell her that this is stupid. Edward, Justice, Patrick, all of them. Bella, all of them. But that's where we're going to leave it tonight. I'm going to be live tomorrow night with some hot topics while I get tatted up, I think, from Cassidy. And then I think Friday evening, we're going to get more into, we're going to go over some more of the Ladybird in Austin, Texas, the serial killer that is potentially on the loose in Austin, Texas right now and has been for a while. So we'll do that on Friday because we have a couple locals, but I'm going to have someone call in possibly Friday who's a local there and actually has followed this case for some time, and they're happy finally that this case, because the locals knew for a long time something wasn't right because 8 men don't drown in the same spot of the lake and go missing from the exact same area, and happen to 3 out of the 8 so far have the name John in their names. Jason John, Jonathan Honey, John Christopher, Cliff, Axel. Yeah, so it's definitely a crazy case too. So do some research on that. Hi. The camera's on. Mr. Sheriff.
Hello all. Don't you fucking start.
Hey. Did you hear the growling outside?
No.
You couldn't hear that with our bedroom window open?
I heard a couple dogs bark.
Oh, well, he was mad because the stray black cat was out there. And he was out there, so he was like, they were growling at each other.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm going to let you go for tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow. And on Friday. Yes, justice for Gannon. Do not let this crazy bitch let her vampire council get her off of this mental insanity bullshit. She does not deserve that, especially since we know and we've heard tonight that it sounds like she is playing a game, also taking the mental illness tests or whatever testing she's doing. She's playing a game here, so it ain't right. Like, she knew enough to clean up everything. She tried to cover her tracks as long as she could. So, we just need to remember that's that. In this case, this is how I feel. And I say a lot of times I don't believe everybody is a monster, but Leticia is a monster. She is a demon straight from hell. So she should be just sent back immediately. That's how I feel. Right, baby?
Yeah.
All right. Love y'all. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow.